Did you know that there are certain foods that actually shouldn't be refrigerated? Refrigeration can change the texture, flavor, and even the nutritional value of some foods. So stick around as we uncover the 10 foods you should keep out of the fridge. Number 1. Tomatoes. Let's start with a food that many people might not expect: tomatoes. If you've been storing your tomatoes in the fridge, you might want to reconsider. Tomatoes are packed with flavor when they're ripe, but refrigerating them can cause the flavor to diminish significantly. The cold temperature of the fridge alters the texture and stops the ripening process, leading to mealy and less flavorful tomatoes. Instead, keep your tomatoes at room temperature out of direct sunlight. This allows them to ripen fully, enhancing their sweetness and flavor. You'll notice the difference the next time you slice one for a salad or a sandwich. Number 2. Potatoes. Potatoes should never be stored in the fridge because the cold temperature can convert the starches in potatoes into sugars more quickly, which can affect both their flavor and texture. When these sugars are exposed to high heat during cooking, they can produce a chemical called acrylamide, which is a potential carcinogen. The best way to store potatoes is in a cool, dark, and well-ventilated place, like a pantry. This helps maintain their starchy texture and natural flavor. Avoid storing them in plastic bags, as this can trap moisture and lead to spoilage. Instead, use a paper bag or a basket to allow for proper air circulation. Number 3. Onions. Now let's talk about onions. Onions thrive in a dry, cool environment, but the fridge is not the place for them. When onions are refrigerated, they tend to absorb moisture, which can make them soft and even lead to mold growth. Additionally, the cold temperature can break down their cell structure, causing them to become mushy. It's best to store onions in a well-ventilated space, away from direct sunlight. A mesh bag or an open basket in your pantry is ideal. Keep them away from potatoes, though, as the moisture and gases released by potatoes can cause onions to spoil more quickly. Number 4. Garlic. Garlic is another pantry staple that should never see the inside of your fridge. When garlic is refrigerated, it can start to sprout, which changes its flavor and texture. The cool, damp environment of the fridge can also cause garlic to become rubbery and lose its pungency. Instead, store garlic in a cool, dry place, like a kitchen drawer or a countertop garlic keeper. This will keep your garlic fresh and flavorful for a longer period. And if you notice any green shoots starting to appear, don't worry, just remove them before using the garlic. Number 5. Bread. Many people refrigerate bread to keep it from going stale, but this actually speeds up the staling process. Refrigeration causes the starches in bread to recrystallize more quickly, leading to a tough, dry loaf. The best way to store bread is at room temperature in a bread box or wrapped in a cloth or paper bag, which allows it to breathe while keeping it from drying out. If you want to keep bread for a longer period, consider freezing it instead of refrigerating. Freezing preserves the texture and freshness, and you can easily thaw slices as needed. Number 6. Honey. Honey is one of nature's most incredible natural preservatives, so it should never be refrigerated. When honey is kept in the fridge, it can crystallize, making it thick and grainy. While crystallized honey is still safe to eat, it's much harder to use and less enjoyable. Honey is best stored at room temperature in a tightly sealed container. This will keep it smooth, liquid, and ready to drizzle over your favorite dishes. If your honey does crystallize, you can easily return it to its liquid state by placing the jar in a bowl of warm water and stirring until the crystals dissolve. Number 7. Coffee. Coffee lovers, this one's for you. Storing coffee beans or ground coffee in the fridge is a big no-no. Coffee is highly absorbent and can pick up odors and moisture from the fridge, which can negatively impact its flavor. The cold temperature can also cause condensation inside the container, leading to moisture that can make the coffee stale more quickly. To keep your coffee fresh, store it in an airtight container at room temperature in a dark place like a pantry. This will help preserve its flavor and aroma, ensuring that your morning brew is as rich and delicious as possible. Number 8. Avocados. Avocados are best enjoyed when they're perfectly ripe, but storing them in the fridge can slow down the ripening process, leaving you with a hard and tasteless fruit. If you have unripe avocados, keep them at room temperature until they ripen. You'll know they're ready when they give slightly to gentle pressure. Once ripe, if you're not ready to eat them right away, you can move them to the fridge to slow down further ripening. But remember, avocados ripen best outside the fridge, so give them the time they need at room temperature first. Number 9. Bananas. Bananas are another fruit that doesn't belong in the fridge. Refrigerating bananas can slow down the ripening process and cause the peel to turn brown or black, making them look unappetizing. However, the inside of the banana might still be underripe and hard. Bananas should be stored at room temperature until they reach your desired ripeness. If you have ripe bananas that you're not ready to eat, you can refrigerate them, but keep in mind that while the peel will darken, the fruit inside will remain fresh for a few more days. Number 10. Olive oil. Finally, let's talk about olive oil. Storing olive oil in the fridge can cause it to become cloudy and solidify, making it difficult to pour and use. While this won't harm the oil, it does affect its texture and usability. The best way to store olive oil is in a cool, dark place like a pantry or cupboard, away from heat and light. This will help preserve its flavor, aroma, and nutritional benefits. Olive oil is sensitive to temperature fluctuations, so keeping it at a stable room temperature is key to maintaining its quality. So here are the 10 foods you should never refrigerate. 1. Tomatoes. Refrigeration dulls their flavor and alters their texture. 2. Potatoes. The cold converts starches to sugars, affecting flavor and creating harmful compounds. 3. Onions. Moisture in the fridge can cause them to spoil and become mushy. 4. Garlic. Refrigeration causes sprouting and changes its texture. 5. Bread. The cold speeds up staling. 6. Honey. Refrigeration causes crystallization. 7. Coffee. The fridge can cause it to absorb odors and moisture. 8. Avocados. The fridge slows down ripening. 9. Bananas. Refrigeration can cause browning of the peel and slow ripening. 10. Olive oil. The cold can solidify and cloud the oil. By keeping these foods out of the fridge, you'll not only preserve their natural flavors and textures, but also ensure that they remain as nutritious and enjoyable as possible. Remember, each of these foods has its own optimal storage method that keeps them fresh and delicious. By storing them correctly, you can enjoy their full flavors and benefits. If you like this video, don't forget to show some love and hit the subscribe button. See you next time.